actually one of the best characters in the game at the moment, I feel.
I never actually had a particularly strong accent, but then I
Get to know the faces behind our favourite characters inside the game.
Positive energy. Good!
So everyone, I'm joined today by Jack Ayres, who is the voice of Draynor The Vibe Vampire inside of Moco. And how are you doing today, Jack?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks very much for having me along.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the channel. I really appreciate it because I know you've got a busy schedule and you've kind of fit me in just to do this interview.
Yeah, I mean, it's been moving house, back to and fro from London, but yeah, it's always nice to come and have a chat with lovely people like yourself. So thank you for having me along.
Awesome. And it's quite a rare opportunity for Supercell creators, this, because a lot of the Supercell games obviously have characters in, but the characters don't have speaking lines, they don't have a voice, they just sort of make sound effects. So obviously now we've got Moco and we've got characters that actually are voiced by actual people. So I thought this would be just a great opportunity to have some of you guys on the channel, get to know the faces behind our favourite characters inside the game.
Yeah, well, it's our pleasure. Thanks for having us all for the ride.
Yeah, so as always, I've got some questions here just to keep a bit of structure to this interview. And the first question I've got up is, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started in voice acting?
Sure. Yeah, so my name's Jack Ayres. I'm a voice actor predominantly for video games. I was trying to figure this out the other day because it's sometimes quite difficult to keep track of things because a lot of the time you don't know the names of projects and stuff because everything's very secretive in video games. But yeah, I've been doing it for about 5 years, sort of consistently now. I think I've worked on between 90 and 100 games now, so quite a few, which I've loved and I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to be able to do. These days, video games is pretty much all I do. I used to do theatre and stuff as well, but yeah, I kind of found a bit of a stride in video games, and I also do animation and kind of commercial stuff too, but video games is mostly where I'm at. And yeah, I kind of focused on that, and now I've pretty much put all of my energy and time into doing video games. Yeah, I've worked on games like Black Myth Wukong last year, where I played Yubaji. I have worked on, recently I was the voice of the Druid class in Diablo Immortal, which was fun because we got to bring some Welsh to it, which I always enjoy. And yeah, lots of different games. Had small parts in Baldur's Gate 3, things like that. Lots of fantasy, lots of sci-fi, and yeah, games like Moco.
Yes, Moco. The best game, save the best till last.
Of course.
So obviously, I'm a Moco content creator. My viewers are kind of here for Moco. So obviously, most of the questions are going to be based around Moco. So coming in with the next question is, how did you hear about or get the part of Draynor? Did you audition or did Supercell reach out to yourself?
Yes, I auditioned. As with most games projects, you tend to at least send a kind of sample along, even if you're requested, just to make sure you're the right fit and you can kind of, offer the right sort of vibe that they're going for. And yeah, this was no different. I auditioned for it was cast by the team over at Soundcuts, who are absolutely amazing, and they work on a lot of stuff with Supercell. They've cast characters all across like Brawl Stars, Moco. It might even go further back to games before that, but those are the ones that I'm kind of most aware of them doing stuff for. They're absolutely amazing, and I know a few of them there quite well, which I was lucky to get the audition through. Kind of had a bit of guidance and a little bit of artwork about what they were looking for with Draynor, and kind of a bit about them, and yeah, then kind of sort of put my thoughts to the mic, so to speak. Kind of put a few ideas down, and yeah, luckily they liked what I did with it, and yeah, then kind of the rest was history. We booked in the recording sessions, and I kind of screeched for a good few hours.
Awesome, because you've landed a great part, because Draynor is such a cool addition to Moco. Actually one of the best characters in the game at the moment, I feel. So you play a really good part playing Draynor.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really fun. I mean, as soon as I heard Vibe Vampire and started seeing the lines that they had, and the guys from Moco were so much fun as well, because they really wanted to, when we were recording it, just throw everything at the wall and then just kind of see what sticks. So I had kind of a lot of freedom in how to express those lines, and then they did an amazing job with kind of sound designing it afterwards, because the first time I heard it afterwards was in the kind of sneak preview for chapter 2, where you kind of get a bit of a glimpse of him kind of I don't know, fawning over Luna, and immediately I was like, oh my god, I almost didn't recognize myself, because they've done such a cool job with this kind of like interdimensional processing that they put on the voice and stuff. It's really fun. Yeah.
So the next question is, did you go to the Supercell headquarters in Finland to do the recordings, or did you do them from another location?
I didn't go over to Finland. No, I recorded from my home studio. Actually, I recorded it in this room.
Did you really?
I recorded it in this room. Yeah. You can't see it. It's over there. But I have like a sound booth over there that I recorded from. You can actually see, though, this is my old one. So when I first started being a voice actor, I started from this room, and that little thing you can see in the background, that's an IKEA wardrobe that is covered in sound blankets and full up of acoustic foam, etc. And I kind of built that and started working from that for the first couple of years when I worked, started out as a voice actor. So you can kind of, I mean, a lot of the times it doesn't look pretty, but you can get some pretty good results from, kind of crafting and
a bit of DIY.
Kind of, budget ingenuity.
Good old IKEA. But I already guessed the answer to that question, because I did interview Amanda Rochelle, who's the voice actor of it as well.
Yeah.
So
she's fantastic.
I sort of knew that what the answer was going to be to that question, but I guess that's kind of one of the cool things of being a voice actor, because you don't have to fly to one location and fly to another location. You can do a lot of things remotely.
It's certainly opened up the industry in a big way. Like, I find myself working on projects that if I hadn't been based in LA, I never would have been able to do a couple of years ago. So it's really good, and it's a great leveler. While saying that, sometimes you're kind of like, oh, I'd love to go to Finland, though. I'd love to go to, LA or, wherever any of these kind of projects are being worked on. But certainly it makes a big difference not having to kind of traverse the globe to go and record 2 or 3 hours on something. It's definitely a helpful option to have.
Well, I was saying to Amanda when I done my interview with Amanda that usually Supercell have a launch party for the games they release, and that launch party is normally held at Finland at the main Supercell headquarters. So I was saying, hopefully if Moco do one, with you guys being the voice actors of the characters.
Fingers crossed. I mean, if I got an invite over to Helsinki, I'd be over there like a flash. I'd love it. I've never been to Finland, so I'd absolutely really cool. Love it.
Really cool place. I've been twice. I went last year for the release of new game Squad Busters. I don't know if you've ever played it. The launch, I was invited to the global launch party of Squad Busters for 3 days in Finland. I spent over at the Supercell headquarters and things, loads of other Supercell creators there. It was one of the experiences that's like one of the best experiences of my life. It's just a fantastic place. It's a fantastic place to be at Supercell. So, like I say, hopefully, fingers crossed, if they have a launch party.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they fancy having someone to drag the vibe down, then I can certainly offer that at least.
So, just a simple question here: do you play Moco or any other Supercell game?
I have played Moco. I will say I'm often not much of a mobile gamer, purely out of practicality's sense, because I almost always am running a phone with like 20 megabytes of free space at any time. So I often find that I'm kind of more drawn to console gaming, because
Yeah.
usually I to be honest, I'm only playing games for like an hour or two in the evening when I'm at home on a sofa or whatever. So yes, I have played various Supercell games over the years, but it's not something I would say I'd play with regularity, purely because I don't play mobile games with a massive amount of regularity, because usually when I'm out of the house or whatever, when the time when I probably would be playing mobile games, I'm usually having to email or do work or something boring while I'm on the train to and from London. But I know I've definitely got friends who are big fans of Brawl Stars, etc. So
yeah, it's probably one of the most popular Supercell games at the moment. Brawl Stars, it's doing really well. At the moment.
One thing I always keep abreast of the animations and stuff that they put out for Brawl Stars and Moco, because I just like the animation team on those games are like off the chain. They're like always pulling out these absolutely incredible, like, you know, really stylistic pieces. And I mean, and also throwing it back to sound cuts again, always these really interesting and funny characters and character designs and voice actors to match. We've got a few pals in Brawl Stars, and they do play such funny characters. So
yeah, like I made content on a game Supercell had in beta for 2.5 years called Clash Mini. That's how I like sort of started my YouTube career with Supercell. But unfortunately, that game got killed, got axed, which led me on later on to Moco. But even back then, for a beta game, the animations and things for the game trailers and stuff were absolutely fantastic.
You know, a lot of the time, whether a game kind of, you know, fully gets off the ground or whatever is not, you know, it's not always linked to quality. You know, there's a whole complicated ecosystem of game development out there. So unfortunately, sometimes some really interesting stuff does get pulled the plug on.
Yeah, Supercell has a high bar for games that they're going to release global. Arguably, maybe slightly too high, but nonetheless,
it's a good problem to have, though, right? Is I mean, imperious standards when it comes to what you put your name to.
Yeah, true. And moving on to the next question, this is a bit of a joke question. What do you think of my accent? Do you think I would make a good voice actor with my accent?
Absolutely. I mean, there definitely was a period in time with voice acting where kind of everyone was sort of funneled into this RP accent and kind of homogenizing everyone to kind of sounding the same. That's been the opposite of what my experience has been over the last sort of 5 years. People are much more into and engaging with, you know, authentic sounding regional voices. So 100%. I feel like if you wanted a career in voice acting, there would be agents who would be very interested in chatting to you. Whereabouts is it you're from?
I'm from the northwest of England, from Cumbria.
Okay, yeah. But I was trying to place it, but I wasn't quite succeeding. I was getting ballpark, but yeah.
Yeah, it's one of them accents because I'm like in between Newcastle and Scotland. A lot of people think, "Are you a Geordie? Are you from Newcastle?"
I was going to say I was getting definite sort of Tyneside, on certain words, but I was like, it's not quite like.
Yeah, I thought I'd ask that question. Obviously, voice actors, because it's the number one thing I get on my YouTube videos. The comments, people saying either I can't understand what this dude's saying because we normally speak quite fast and we've got a weird accent, or they just can't pinpoint where I'm from by my accent. So
is it largely people not from the UK that struggle though, or
even people from the UK? Like a lot of I'll do a little bit of stream. People come in my streams and they're like, "Oh, where are you from, Gaz?" And I'll say, "Guess," and they say, "Well, I'm from Liverpool." I'll guess that you're from Scotland. I'm thinking, no, I'm not from Scotland. So no one's ever guessed it right yet. But I guess it kind of makes it a bit more unique with my accent.
Yeah, I mean, I think you sound incredibly easy to understand myself, but maybe that's just me.
I'm trying hard to speak clearly for you. So
I think it's interesting, this sort of the idea that we have to kind of sanitize our accents. That certainly happens, in a lot of Wales, where I'm from as well. I never actually had a particularly strong accent, but then I did go to drama school for 3 years, which certainly I think in London certainly kind of brought my accent much more closer to a kind of standard RP. When I'm speaking in Wales with people with Welsh accents, sometimes it comes out a little bit more. There's certain words and things, but yeah, I think kind of hopefully the end goal is people feel like they don't have to kind of standardize their accents for kind of because I think for the most part, unless you're really kind of mumbling over stuff, I think with a like a bit of grace, pretty much anyone can understand anyone. Like,
I mean, I don't pick any Welsh accent up from myself whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, I not many people do, to be honest. There's certain words that kind of come out, like if I was speaking RP, I'd say like nurse, but like a more Welsh version of it would be nurse. All very small things, but to be honest, I never had a strong South Wales accent to begin with. I was brought up in Cardiff in a very kind of multicultural school. I've lived 11 years in London since, so to be honest, there's not much naturally kind of in my cadence that would suggest Welsh at this point. Yeah, but I always enjoy it when I get to crack it out.
Yeah, but you've got like a nice speaking voice, and I noticed this with Amanda as well. When I was interviewing Amanda, you both have like a really nice tone, like a nice, like soothing speaking voice. So I guess that like ties in with the voice acting career. So,
oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I mean, don't do a lot of audiobooks myself, but with that compliment, maybe I should branch out.
Yeah. So next question. Moving on. What is your favourite part of voicing Draynor? And we know there isn't any lines for Draynor yet inside the game. Hopefully that could change for the future as well. But which one was your favourite to record?
I mean, the most fun is always kind of just being given carte blanche to take a line which on the face of it you could play any number of ways. Things like there were just lines like positive ... energy ... good ... and then kind of being able to them giving me the sort of freedom to go just have fun with it, just like we liked what you did in the audition, just kind of go down that avenue and really kind of getting to absolutely bellow it and screech it out. So and then hearing the end product is really fun when they kind of add in the glitches and stuff. It was cool. Stuff like that was definitely the most fun with working on it. And I mean, effort sessions are always fun. When I say efforts, I mean obviously Draynor is in combat for most of the time. So you've got to record lots of different variations of getting hit and hitting things and getting hit, but like it's a bigger attack, and getting hit when it's a smaller attack, and hitting, but this time you're doing this specific movement or whatever. And they did have a lot of the cool combat like animations and stuff for me to look at and work with, which was really cool.
Yeah, because one of the riffs that's in the game for Chapter 2, and riffs is like a team-based fight against the boss, obviously Draynor. Mm-hmm. It's called Secret Pact, and you actually go in and she's got Luna held captive, and then you break her free, and then you have a big boss fight with Draynor, and that's I guess that's where most of your voice lines come into play during that fight. Mm-hmm. It's one of the best riffs in the game as well. Actually, it's a really cool boss fight.
Oh, cool. Well, yeah, I'm glad people are enjoying it.
So moving on to the next question, and this might be a bit of a toughie, but I was going to say, can we get a few lines as Draynor?
I mean, absolutely. I hope this isn't going to cut out the mic, because the problem is a lot of them are quite loud. And I remember doing an interview before where I ended up shouting some lines, and it did not like it. So let's let me get some distance and see if we can make this work. Okay. I did write a few down here. All right. Obviously, bear in mind, I can't actually glitch my voice. So you're gonna have to imagine the glitches yourself.
Yeah, I was going to say that because he's obviously sound production over Draynor's voice as well. So everyone do bear that in mind as well.
Maybe I can do it. Let's see what comes out. We're vibing. Don't run. Wait for me. They always leave. I liked the purple one. Positive energy. Good. That was the loudest one we had to do. I pulled my punches a little bit there because I didn't want to blow your ears out there, Gaz. But,
it's absolutely awesome, Jack. I love like speaking to you guys just as you're speaking, and then when I ask you to do the voice lines, you dip into the character, and then your voice completely changes, and it's really cool to watch. It really is cool to watch. And
it's great fun. It's great fun because you get so much more freedom when you're doing just voice only stuff. Because you're just using your voice. You have so much kind of, if you can sound like it, you don't necessarily have to look like it. It's always weird when you do these kind of things as well, because then you watch them back and you go, oh, is that what I look like when I'm doing that? Don't normally ever see that.
That's all the questions I had for yourself. Like I say, I don't want to take too much of your time because I know you're super busy.
No,
you have to sort of squeeze this interview in, but like I say, I think it's great for the community to see you guys behind the characters for the game they're playing. So yeah, thanks very much for coming on the channel, Jack.
Not at all. Yeah, thanks for having us, and thanks for championing Moco the way that you guys have. Like it's honestly, you can't overstate it enough. But the more that people show like such enthusiasm and kind of engagement with Moco and Supercell, like the kind of more likely people are to get to come and do like cool stuff, make new stuff. It's always the way with games. The kind of the more enthusiastic the support, like the better it goes for everyone. So props to you guys for making such a cool community around these games.
Yeah, we try our best. But yeah, thanks again, Jack. I really appreciate your time. And everyone, if you did enjoy this video, drop a like down below, my friends, and we'll catch you hunters in the next video.